Well, what's up? Oh, you're scone, yeah. It is Saturday. Saturday today. We did have a pretty good week at the track. You know, we just scratched the one horse on Wednesday. Lovers Play drew the outside. For the most part, aside from some outside draws and one or two that were over their head, we've had a pretty good week, right? The inclement weather, I guess, in southern Ohio kind of screwed us up a little bit on Thursday evening. But it was pretty hard to screw up the entire day. We had a great day on Thursday. We had wins not close, but a second with Yo Mister, wins from Ready for Landing, Spitfire Overseas, and Save America. Friday, we did a decent day. Marching fourth, as I said, an okay third. I opened my video last night with a rather long explanation of what I thought we could do with marching fourth. And why I thought it was important, and what I thought, more importantly, what I thought was going on with him. La Dorienne, a little bit of a power outage from her yesterday, but she did just get beat, finished second, and raced good. Insider trading again, outside draw. I was a little down on her after the race, but quite frankly, 58 in the mud. I have to separate myself from, comparing her to last year's version of herself. She just isn't. She isn't that horse. Still a well-bred filly, and she'll probably bring pretty good money in the sale in December because she is a sister to JL Cruz. She is a big filly now, and I guess there's always that component, that sheer growth of her from 2 and 3. Did that cause a little bit of an interruption in her overall ability and output? It's possible, but there's no point going back and forth with myself or with anybody else about what could have been, should have been, might have been, what happened. Doesn't matter. We live in the is, the now, and for her, yes. Yeah, you done your Skona. You inhaled it, eh? For her, 58 in the mud off a half in a minute. I guess that's a pretty decent mud for her. So, 3-point Blue Chip raced well from post 8. Brace for Landing raced good. I actually, it was so muddy. I can't complain too much. I thought the day was going to be a write-off, and it really didn't get muddy until the last couple. And I couldn't see. I thought I'd won the race. I should have been looking at the TV and not on the outside. I thought I'd won the race, and even in watching the replay, I thought I was second, but a very, very close third, and he raced good. Yeah, he finished third. He raced good. And then Drebin raced good from post 10 last night. James and I and Dominic and I talked after the race. We had an ear hood on him and an open bridle. I think the way his gait is... No, we talked the other day about the 3 horses won, and then we're going to talk about them in the opening this week also. This is just a video for today, just for everybody. Do you want to tell everybody what the weather's like, Addie Bear?
Rainy.
It's rainy, and it's wet, and it's yucky out. Yeah, it's yucky out. We're going to bring Mommy her drink. I have my drink here in the... this one's pretty hot still. Hold on. Yeah, that one's a little hot still for you. So, I'm going to try and dodge the rain. No racing from my standpoint tonight. We do have Texong Soprano racing tonight, and of course, we have Ali's Got Grit making his last start of the season. I've been going back and forth with myself and some of our clients about keeping Ali and What a Lady, What an 8 or holding them over, and I was torn, and somebody said, well, Anthony, why don't you just put a price on them? Put them in the sale, see if they bring it. If they don't, they don't. The voice of reason. Yeah, so that's likely what we'll do. We have a number of horses that will be going up for sale next week. Brace for Landing, I believe, will go on the sale block. Pickpocket, now he does race next Wednesday. The sale is the following Monday. Now, if he had a draw on 2 or 3, I'd be like, he'll likely win. He's got the outside post. He's got the 8-hole. And I had a number of people messaging me also saying, Anthony, I heard your video, but I just don't get it. Why you would move a horse like Pickpocket. Well, Pickpocket's going to do good at Yonkers. He's going to do good at the Meadowlands. He's going to do good at the Meadows or Southern Ohio or Ontario. He can race anywhere on planet Earth, but he does have 8 wins. He's going on 9. So now he has to enter open condition level. And when it comes to us for the here and now, for right here, let me break it down to you this way. At Yonkers, I would have no problem sending the horse to Megan. The problem being that they do shut down for a couple of weeks at Christmas time. So by the time you get into...
I love Christmas.
No, I love Christmas too. By the time you get into December, get him shipped out there, they'll be pretty near on their break if he gets in at all. Yes?
My mom put the magnets on my Christmas.
Oh, really?
Huh?
Oh, well, I'll have to ask Santa if he has those. And then you rest for the 2 weeks because you're not going to get into Meadowlands, right? It's going to be jammed. The box is going to be jammed while Yonkers is down. I believe the Poconos is closed, and although Philadelphia is open, you take those Yonkers horses out and spread them out everywhere, you're not getting it. So now you're looking at almost the first of the year before you can get Pickpocket race. Now, if you leave him here, you can race him in the 50 claimer non-winners of 10. That's a possibility. Although, again, Indiana is closing. And that means that just the track closes this time of year when it gets cold out. And when you factor in Indiana closing, now you're looking at that Ohio owned and sired first and foremost. I'm worried we're not going to get Pickpocket Indigo at Dayton. So now you're left with a lot of question marks and a nice horse and another schedule interrupted. I know what he's probably worth, and I think that it makes the most sense in the world to probably move him on too. So you're looking at Pickpocket. I had the list here. Of course, it's on my phone. Pickpocket, and the other horse, Price for Landing, that I just mentioned. A couple of the other horses, Love and Affection, for the same reason. Gets in every 10 days. It's just not going to cut it right now. And it's not going to be beneficial to us. To us racing her right now. There's a number of horses. We'll go over them in the videos this week, but for the most part, it's just constant forward march for us. There's going to be times, listen, Pickpocket might go out and win the Open at the Meadowlands next year. I have no idea. But for right now, it makes the most sense for us to... I'm focusing on Irresistible Sun and Memory and Imagination, who are almost ready to go and fit the exact same classes. So I'm trying to be a little proactive when it comes to horses tripping over one another here, there, and everywhere. And somebody else had messaged me yesterday and said, Anthony, I know you said there's going to be horses to acquire. I disagree. I think everybody's going to hang on to their horses as they head into the winter. Just historically speaking, that's not correct. Historically speaking, people, what it'll do is they'll move some horses rather than turn them out, stop with them, or if they start to find themselves in the same position we will, where it's tough to get them in, or they're tripping over one another. That's the first way they'll move them. The second way they'll move them is in the middle of the winter, when they do get them back going, when they do get them started up and realize that maybe they haven't progressed the way they wanted to. That's how we ended up with many of our horses over the last few years, was around that February, March. But make no mistake, as we head into Christmas season, there will be horses up for sale, both privately and publicly. Of that, I have history on my side. I don't have to preach it. I know it because it's been that way, and there's no reason for it not to be that way. Now, I am going to talk quite extensively this week about breeding. For those of you who may not know, we sold Tactical Mounds the other day. Concord Stud Farm had bought her. And over the last few years, we'd implemented that strategy where we were going to buy high-end mares, and if things don't work out, maybe they'll work out on the other side, which it has worked out. Having said that, everybody tried the same strategy this year, and I think, like every market, when there's supply and demand get flip-flopped, it never ends up good for the acquirer. And what I mean by that is, in 3 or 4 years, you're going to find that the prices of these mares won't be as strong as people think, and the yearling sale prices, some of them will level out, and the mares just simply won't be worth as much. And we'll talk about that. That's my prediction. The great thing about predictions is by the time they come to fruition, people either forgot what you said, good or bad, so it doesn't really matter. You're just talking. We'll see how that plays out over the next few years. But for right now, it is Saturday morning. It is rainy. The track is for sure muddy. I've had an entire week of racing in the mud, and I was not jogging in the mud today. So I'm going to hang out with Addie. I would imagine Amy won't be long being done at the barn. And we'll go do something with the kids this afternoon. So I hope you do something with your kids or your family or your friends this afternoon. it's a Saturday. It's going to be a nice weekend regardless of the weather. A nice weekend just to relax, gear up. I know I'll probably sit down and maybe look at the Black Friday sales coming up for some Christmas gifts. I'm always the last week before Christmas shopper. I love the Christmas crowds. But this year, it might make more sense to, again, be a little proactive. So whether you're heading out to the mall or a sporting event or just taking it easy with a cup of coffee, wherever you're at, have a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you all very soon.